Hi guys, and welcome back to my humble little study. Today I'm going to talk to you about cortisol. Basically, cortisol is the stress hormone of the body. When we're stressed, release some cortisol and get through the day. That's okay in small doses. At the moment, this sort of society, we have about 100 times more stress than our grandparents did. Now that stress can be anything from noise, work, emails, iPhones, training, lack of sleep, you name it. What I want to talk to you about today is how do we identify if we're high cortisol, and more importantly, in the gym, what can we do about it? The scope of this video is absolutely huge, so I'm going to try and narrow it down to those things. First, identifier of high stress, high cortisol. How are you sleeping? Are you waking a lot? Are you waking sort of 3 AM, going to the bathroom? Are you having trouble going to sleep? Can be waking up a little bit too early before your alarm, can't get back to sleep, restless, that sort of thing. Any of those sort of indicators, check out what's going on outside of that. You know, have you got too much work stress? Are you thinking about your diaries, that sort of thing. The second one can be tiredness or lethargy, indicated that you're constantly reaching for something like caffeine or Red Bulls, V's, anything like that. If you've got those sort of signs, generally you're trying to prop up your system, cortisol's doing its thing, you're getting a little bit tired during the day, and looking for another pick-me-up, another cortisol hit to get you through the 3 PM slump. Third one to look for is gut issues. So if you sort of can't explain, you've got a little bit of diarrhea, a bit of bloating, the gut's just not happy with you, can be an indicator that there's some sort of anxiety, some cortisol release, some higher stress situation going on. Again, any of these sources can be work, can be sleep, can be relationships. Training obviously is another big one. But try and get to the root of your cause. Now, more importantly for the scope of this, what can we do about it in the gym? Now, I actually find dealing with cortisol quite simple when it comes to training. And the less is more approach comes in handy here. I've had a couple of people approach me lately and sort of say, oh, Dan, can I do more training? Now, I know how much they do in their life, I know how many hours they work, a lot, and I feel like if I push them into more training to encourage weight loss and that sort of thing, we'd actually try and be burning the candle at both ends, and we'd start to see injuries turn up, more restlessness, sleep would probably get worse rather than better, whereas I think actually pulling them back a little bit with a couple of these tips will actually benefit them. So what I look for is under 1 hour per training session. Now that is important because after an hour, typically what you'll see is the testosterone response, the hormonal response to training, deteriorates and cortisol shoots through the roof. So if you're doing a 1.5 to 2 hour training session marathon, your cortisol is going to be up very, very high. Not a problem in people who are well rested, not a lot of stress in their life. Terrible for high stress people. Short, sharp, get out. Second thing is lifting heavy is really good. It tends to be low stress on the body but high return. Good testosterone hits, boost up the hormones without absolutely cooking your system. So that's one I advocate, guys, girls, young, old, doesn't matter. Lifting heavy seems to work for cortisol. The third thing I want to look at is how much aerobic work, how much breathing work are they doing? If you do too much breathing work, this typically puts stress on the system. The good response to this one is, if you've ever seen marathon runners, obviously very skinny, do a lot of training, and by a lot of training I mean 4, 5, 6 hours a day on their feet. What you typically see with their bodies too is that they've got what you probably call cortisol belly, which is a little tummy just sitting under the belly button. And you kind of say to yourself, well, how are these guys not lean? How can you not see, their abs, that sort of thing? They are overworked. They're overstressed with their training in the pursuit of, obviously, the fastest marathon time they can produce. Point being with this, make your metabolic efforts, your breathing efforts very, very short. Much better getting on the air iron for 10, 15, 20 seconds. Rather than doing that 20-minute, 30-minute saga, going for a long run, that sort of thing, that tends to promote cortisol. The shorter, the better. Anything under 20 seconds. Anything over 20 seconds starts to stimulate lactate. That can be quite a potent stimulator of cortisol as well, so we keep it extremely short. Now, if you're not sure about whether you're doing the right thing for cortisol, come in and check in with us. Ask us, what should I do? I'm having trouble with work, I'm a bit stressed, I feel like I'm overdoing things. Come and talk to us. We might change the program, we might change a few things about what you're doing. And obviously talk to you about diet and some lifestyle stuff as well. We'll try and get the whole picture. But most importantly, get your training right. You want to get the most out of your gym time. That's 3-4 hours a week you're contributing to yourself. Get it right. Make sure you're doing the right thing by your body. Keep you healthier, lower that cortisol, and get better results for yourself. Any questions, come and talk to us.